Hello students, welcome to Saurav Sir's classes. My name is Ashmita. In today's class, we are going to discuss about WBCS means English paper 2. Let us get to know about the syllabus first. Number 1 we have letter writing. Number 2 we have drafting of report. In this you are going to learn about many different kinds of report. Number 3 is précis writing. In précis writing you need to shorten the paragraph which will be given. Number 4 it's composition. Number 5 it's a translation from any language, whichever language you know, that is from Bengali, Hindi, Urdu, Nepali, Santali to English. Basically you have to translate to English. Let us start with letter writing. First we are going through the format. Whenever you are writing a formal letter, you have to write down the name of the place, that is your own address, as well as the date on which you are writing the letter. Next, leaving a line, you have to write to the person. You have to name the person to whom you are writing the letter. Suppose you are writing the letter to an editor of a newspaper. You are going to write to the editor. Next line, the Indian Express, that is the name of the newspaper company. Then the address in the next line. Here the address is of the newspaper office along with its pin code. Leaving a line, you need to write down the subject matter for which you are writing this letter to the editor. Then again leaving a line, on the left side you can see there is written respected or dear. You can write respected if that person is in a quite honorable position, or if you are quite familiar with that person you can write down dear. Then you have to maintain 3 paragraphs, very short paragraphs, because the word limit given over here is 200. Some letters are to be written within 150 words and some are to be written within 200 words. You need to maintain an intro where you are introducing yourself as well as the problem. In the second paragraph, that is the body part, you need to describe your problem, and leaving a line in the third or the last paragraph, that is the conclusion paragraph, you need to conclude it that hopefully some kind of help will come from that side regarding the matter. Lastly, you can write down your name either on the right side or on the left side. Both are correct. Thanking you and then your name. Before writing or practicing this letter for the examination, you need to understand certain important points. That is, be yourself when writing, but don't try to establish your ego. Then we must be natural and unbiased as a civil servant. So try to show double side of the topic. When we are talking about the double side, this means that both the positive as well as the negative side of the subject. Do not try to learn or copy from any book, because many others will try to do so and your letters will end up the same. It will match with the other papers, the students who are choosing English as their main subject. A quick tip is that you can read the newspaper daily, so that you can just know the types of words or writing skills that are required in a newspaper report actually. Many other candidates are writing the same letters, so you need to be different, you need to stand out. Use simple words for writing, don't try to be William Shakespeare. You can underline some important data part to help examiner find out some reasons to give you good marks. You will have minimum 30 minutes to write the letter. You can take your time to frame proper sentences and then write, because basically you need to write 200 to sometimes even 150 words. You may write the letter as rough work, but if you have proper practice, you don't need it. Now here's a plus point, you can use your best handwriting skill to impress the examiner. You need to write clearly. Now I will be discussing about the 2019 question paper, what kind of letter writing was given there. Now write a letter to the editor of a newspaper expressing your views on the problems caused by the mushrooming of planned buildings rapidly in the city. Also suggest some measures to arrest this problem. We need to write the format correctly first. Let's start from the left hand side, that is, first we need to put the address. I told you that we have to write our own address when we are starting the letter. along with the pin code, and after leaving a line, the date on which we are writing the letter. Leaving a line, we should be mentioning it that we are writing this letter to the editor. So, we have to write to the editor. Then next line, for example, the Indian Express. Then next line, we need to write down the address of the newspaper company. Next, we have to write down the subject in the middle. What can we write in the subject as per the topic given? We can write that mushrooming of unplanned buildings rapidly in the city. Like, we need to take the subject matter from the topic itself. Then on the left hand side, you need to write respected or dear sir with a comma. Then next line, just below the comma, you need to start writing the introduction part. That is, for example, I am saying, I am writing to you in order to highlight the problems caused by the mushrooming of unplanned buildings rapidly in the city. Now the second part. Second part is the body part, where you can include your topic explanation, plus you can give quotation. Now it's not compulsory to give a quotation, so you can use it within the writing, and do not try to explain the quotation. Use it to support the topic. If you are giving a quotation, try to give something different or some recent quotation from the internet. So for that you need to prepare thoroughly the quotations. As I told you that you have to write both sides of the topic in an editorial letter. So write in support of the topic and explain the topic in the first part. Then most of the time editorial letter talks about the problems faced by the people in the society. So you can mention that also. You can use some actual data to support your claims, like current affairs will help you here. Government reports can be the best source for data. Basically, you need to go through the newspapers every day so that you can acquire some knowledge regarding these kind of things taking place around you. Try to write the body within 60 to 70 words or maybe up to 100 words. Now you need to divide the body part into two. Okay, first you need to show your positive side regarding the topic, and then you need to show the negative side of the topic. So breaking the body into two parts will help you write the positive parts of the topic in the first paragraph, and in the second paragraph you need to write the negative side of the topic. Now what can you write on the other side? This part will be negative part or contradictory part of the first part which you have written. So here we may write about the problems in the society or the solutions, but it must show the opposite side than the first part of the letter. If we are writing about any problem in the society, then we will talk about the good things or solutions in the second part. Now next, let me tell you, if you are breaking the body into two parts, try to maintain the word limit, that is, try to write within 70 to 80 words in the first paragraph and try to write down 40 to 50 words in the next paragraph. Coming to the conclusion part, we need to write how the government or the other organizations are supporting to overcome those problems. Like you can mention one or two government schemes or visionary work. Then you can give a future idea or your hope about future in the next one or two sentences. Then we need to conclude the total topic. We can finish the conclusion within 30 to 40 words maximum. And we can like when I am talking about this topic, we can just end up this letter writing with the, I request you to highlight the problem in your newspaper and arouse the public interest. We all need to get together in order to get the solution on this matter. Then finally you can write thanking you on the left side and writing your name after that. This is how you are going to end the letter. Now let's move on to report writing. What do we understand by a report? A report is an account of some special event written with a view to make people know about it. For example, a report on the inauguration of new computer lab of the school. A report may also be related to the results of some investigation conducted by the writer of the report. Whatever may be the subject of a report, the important thing about a report is that it is a written document produced for some specific purpose and for the specific readers in view. Report writing is also of 40 marks, so you need to write maximum 200 words. That's all. Mainly the quality of your report stands out after all. There are many kinds of reports that a person may be required to write on, from a simple event like a blood donation camp in your institution to a research report or some investigatory report. Now, how can we write a report? It would be wrong to think that all kinds of reports are written alike. In fact, every report has its own demand to be fulfilled. I will be giving you certain guidelines which will help you to write a report effectively with necessary changes here and there as per the demand of the report. Now, first, identifying and collecting the key facts of the matter concerned. Second, classifying them in the right order. And then, third, presenting them briefly and directly in a simple language as effectively as possible. While writing the report, the terms of reference, if any, can be kept in view. That is, the report must also indicate the date and time, if essential, of the event besides the name of the reporter to make it authentic. The report must be written objectively, discussing various aspects of the matter in the light of the terms of reference, if provided. In case of a report on some simple matter wherein there is no directive or compulsion from above involved, the report should be presented to its readers in such a way that the purpose of the report is fulfilled. In other words, the prospective readers of the report should be able to know through the report the whole of the event covered, like what happened, why it happened, and how it happened. The report is thus mainly the description cum narration of the details of the event happened or organized. However, in case of a report of some investigatory nature, the report should be a direct commentary on what happened, why happened, and what possible consequences it could lead to. The report concerned should comprehensively cover the subject of investigation, with a firm conclusion and recommendations of the investigator. The conclusion or the summary part of the report, along with the writer's recommendations, will go a long way to decide the future course of action to be taken in the matter by the competent authority. In case of the report with all the terms of reference, the writers have to cover the findings in all the specified areas. So, the terms of reference also dictate what kind of report is to be made available by the readers of the report. It would be a good idea if you go through one or two such reports to have a further insight into the writing of the report of this nature. Basically, reading newspapers daily will help you to write down these kind of reports very easily. As said earlier, there are different kinds of reports that require different kinds of report writing. However, we can just know the format of an ordinary report and then make changes here and there to satisfy the needs of the other kinds of reports. Now, at first, we should be giving the title of the report, then the reporter's name with the designation, then a small introduction where we are going to mention the objectives of the event organized. Then we can mention the details of the event organized. Lastly, we need to give the conclusion, that is summing up the report. Here I have written down how to draft a report. First, you need to write down the title or the headline, then the subheading. On the left side in the next line, you have to write the name of the staff reporter, then the designation, of course. Next line, you need to write down the place and the date from where you are writing. Starting of the first part. For writing the report, we must be writing as a journalist. So, we should be following the standard newspapers for the formats every day. We should be going through newspapers. We should keep on repeating reading the newspapers. Then only it would become easier for us to write in the examination. What can we basically write in the introductory part? Introductory part is the current situation part. Like, we can give an introduction and explain the topic in just one or two sentences. Then we can write the reason or the cause of the problem of the situation. Then we can just use 50 to 70 words in this part. Second is the body. We have to write something which will support the topic. We have to write the detailed facts about the topic. We can give some current situation on news to support the topic. Then we can add some current data to analyze the topic. We can write about government steps to handle the situation or related to the topic, something related. We should try to present all the facts directly and simply, and we should try to finish this body part within 80 to 100 words. Then comes the third part where we can include the visions and the conclusion. Give a future idea or your hope about the future in one or two sentences. We can give an idea or our view about the steps that government or society should take to handle the situation. Here we can conclude the total topic. We can use 30 to 50 words, and at the end we can write the total number of words if possible. Next is, we should be remembering certain important points while writing the report. That is, we should be using simple language. Then short, straightforward sentences are easy to read, understand, and to save time. So we should be using such kind of sentences. Then we must be natural, unbiased as a civil servant. Then we can read newspapers to know what types of words or writing skills are used in newspaper actually. We should be sticking to observable facts. We can use active voice, like I have seen this, I have reported this. Active voice. Underline the data part to help examiner to find out some reasons to give you some good marks. Now you will be having minimum 30 minutes to write the report. You can take your time to think about the proper sentences and then write. Now I'm going to discuss about certain sample reports. How can you write and what you need to write. The topic for report writing is a forest fire that took place recently. We can start the report by giving a heading, Earth's burning lungs. Then we can add a subtitle, that is Amazon rainforest fire. We are going to write a report on Amazon rainforest fire. Then on the left side, while starting the report, we can just write down the name of the place. Like for example, we are writing down from Kolkata. So we must be mentioning the city's name, that is Kolkata. Then the date on which we are writing, that is for example 22nd March. We can start the report with the year and the date or the span of days on which the Amazon rainforest fire breakout took place. We can include that Amazon rainforest is considered to be the largest rainforest in the world, covering an area of something million square kilometers. Just because it covers most parts of the forest area on earth, we can just term the rainforest to be lungs of the earth. It spreads across 9 countries. The majority of the forest is contained within Brazil and the other countries. You can name the countries and the minor areas on which the rainforest is spread. Then we can say that the rainforest is the home for a large number of animals. Many animals died by burning, and it was the saddest incident of this year. We can also mention that this rainforest burning created a lot of economical disaster, and the whole environment was polluted due to this. Then we can also mention the importance of the forests for a while, that trees give us oxygen without which we cannot survive. Then we may write down that Amazon rainforest contributes to 20% of the oxygen level. Then this burning took place for around 2 weeks, and as a result there was a major loss of trees and biodiversity, and this was a great loss for our world. We can also write that in future we should be more aware that this kind of incident may not ever happen again. You need to write all these in 3 paragraphs, as I have mentioned in the format that there should be 3 parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. We are going to discuss another report writing based on shortage of water. Here you can give the heading as water crisis, a big problem. Next line you can write down Kolkata, that's the name of the place from where you are writing. Next you are going to give the date. Then in the introduction you can write, it says that water is life, and water is the most essential element of our life. But in the current days, due to increase in population, we are going to face such a big crisis of water. You can just elaborate the topic in the body part, that is you may write, apart from drinking, we use water in bathing, washing, industry, and even cultivation and some other purposes. In the early days, the river and the pond water was very fresh, and people used to drink it, but now it is very polluted. So we depend only on our underground water. As a result, the level of underground water is going down day by day. We have to face the water problem mostly. We mainly face the water problem mostly in summers. Then you may write about a city which experienced this. Then the people were facing a big problem for drinking water in this city. Now you may write about what is causing this water crisis, that is increasing population. Nowadays our climatic change is the cause for water crisis, which mainly happened due to our man-made pollution. You can lastly conclude by saying that if we cannot save water, we won't be able to save our life in future, because after all water is life. Now another topic which I will be discussing for report writing is on harsh driving. Now similarly you have to write down the heading, that is little bit of a catchy heading, safe drive and save life. Then the subheading, that is awareness campaign by West Bengal government. Now headings should be catchy because like whenever we try to read newspapers, we will see that we are getting attracted to something which is not monotonous. So we get attracted to something different. That's why our heading should be something different from the others. Starting the report by writing down the name of the place and then the date from where you are writing. Then we can write that due to the development of science and technology, the number of vehicles is increasing day by day on the road. The people are wanting a more comfortable and luxurious life, and every person who goes out to their destination would like to travel in their cars, like their private cars, and sometimes they do not maintain the basic traffic norms. As a result, they have to face an accident, like sometimes. So, Safe Drive and Save Life is mainly an awareness campaign which was launched by West Bengal government chief minister, that is Mamata Banerjee, on a certain date. You need to mention the date. Try to give as much dates as possible. This will make the report writing in your examinations like more accurate and more valid. If there are more and more dates and more quotations in your report writing, then it will seem like you are not making it up. It was already there, it already took place somewhere, that's why you are reporting that event. You can write about the aim of this campaign in your body, that is to reduce road accidents, which is one of the leading causes of deaths and disabilities in the state. So by this campaign, government wants to make the people aware to drive safely. The safe drive will save one's life and the rush drive will take one's life. We can give this in quotation, as this will provide as a slogan in the campaign. Then we can write in the body again that the driver should maintain the traffic rules properly for a better ride, because our life is more valuable than time. Finally, we can write down in the conclusion part that this awareness campaign played a great role in our modern life as well as in our state. It helped us to build the accidentless journey and a better life. Next, we are moving on to précis writing. Now, what is a précis writing? Précis is a short form of the text which briefly gives us only the important points. Let us first discuss about the qualities of a good précis. A good précis shows the writing skills of a person, so it must have some qualities. It should have clarity. Clarity means getting your message across so that the receiver can understand what the writer is trying to convey. It is the basic and essential need of a précis. The idea should be clear and understandable. There should not be any ambiguity in your writing. The writer can achieve clarity by using simple language and simple structure. If your précis is not understandable to the reader, it will lose its importance and meanings for the reader. It should be correct. Mistakes in your writings always irritate the examiner. Of course, mistakes are never intentional, even so there is no excuse for them. At the time of writing or composing a précis, the writer must ensure that the facts and figures are correct. Structure of sentences and spellings of words must be correct, because a single mistake in structure and spelling may spoil the message. We may make mistakes with misspelled words, mistakes in figures and dates, mistakes in punctuation, mistakes of grammar and structure. The précis should be objective. Objectivity means the ability to present or view facts uncolored by feelings, opinions, or personal bias. While making a précis, the writer should adopt an objective approach. He should not give and add his personal opinion and ideas in a précis. A précis should be purely a summary of the original text without any kind of personal addition. Coherence means the logical and clear interconnection of ideas in a written piece of work. A good précis should be coherent. The ideas which are presented in a précis must have a logical connection and they all should be interrelated. In short, we may say that the ideas should be well knitted so that the examiner may not be confused while reading and lose his interest. Another striking feature of a good précis is completeness. A précis should be complete in all respects. Completeness means that the writer should include all the important facts in the précis. To make it short, he or she should not omit the important ideas. This mistake on the part of the writer will spoil the importance and meaning of the précis. Now, conciseness is a desirable quality of a good précis. You all should be writing what is necessary and avoid writing the unnecessary details. A concise piece of work conveys the message in the fewest possible words. But one point must be kept in mind that you should not omit some basic and essential facts to achieve conciseness. We must not omit the unnecessary details. We must not eliminate the wordy expressions. We must include only the relevant details and we must avoid unnecessary repetition. A well-written précis should be a serviceable substitute for the original work. Now, the goal of a précis is to preserve the core essence of the work in a manner that is both clear and concise. I will be mentioning some more important points so that you can do those while going through the question as well as framing the précis. Now, first you should be reading the passage twice or thrice carefully to summarize it. This will enable you to understand the main theme of the passage. You all should underline and mark the important ideas and essential points from the original text. With the help of the underlined ideas, you can draw the outline of your précis. You all need to omit all the unnecessary information or the long phrases which could be replaced by one word. All the adjectives and the adverbs can also be omitted in order to make a good précis. While making a précis, you all should never omit the important points and ideas which are essential to be described. We should keep the fact in our mind that the length of the précis should be the 1/3 of the original passage. Indirect speech. A précis should be written in indirect speech. If there is direct speech in the passage, it should be changed into indirect speech. Précis should be written in third person and past tense. In case of universal truth, the present tense should be used. A précis should be written in your own words and you should abstain from borrowing words from the original passage. But do not try to add your own points. You can just change the language in a simplified way and then you can write. But don't try to add your own personal viewpoints. The précis of a dialogue or conversation should always be expressed in form of narrative. You all should adopt an objective approach. You all should not add your personal ideas to a précis, just as I mentioned in the previous point. Put all the important points and ideas in a logical order and then write it down. One paragraph. There could be 2 or more paragraphs in the original text, but while making the précis, try to write all the ideas in one paragraph. After omitting all the unnecessary ideas, you all should prepare a rough draft to finalize it. Now, the final draft. Having read the rough draft and pointed out some mistakes which may be found in the rough draft, you all can prepare the final draft. Now we will go through a sample passage and then make the précis. A life of action and danger moderates the dread of death. It not only gives us fortitude to bear pain but teaches us at every step the precarious tenure on which we hold our present being. Sedentary and studious men are the most apprehensive on this score. Dr. Johnson was an instance in point. A few years seemed to him soon over, compared with those sweeping contemplations on time and infinity with which he had been used to pose himself. In the still life of a man of letters, there was no obvious reason for a change. He might sit in an armchair and pour out cups of tea to all eternity, would it had been possible for him to do so. The most rational cure, after all, for the inordinate fear of death is to set a just value on life. If we mere wish to continue on the scene, to indulge our headstrong humour and tormenting passions, we had better be gone at once. And if we only cherish a fondness for existence according to the good we desire from it, the pang we feel at parting will not be very severe. Here is some typing mistake, it will be severe. Now this is the précis. We have written 1/3 of the full passage. Let us read. If we lead an active life facing dangers, we will less fear death. People who lead a lazy and peaceful life are the most afraid of death. The most sensible way of getting rid of the fear of death is to value life properly. If we do not give unnecessary importance to our life, we will not feel the pang of death. Moving on to the next topic, that is composition. Now, what is a composition? Composition is a personal narrative, a short work of fiction or prose, an essay, a dramatic work, or a poem. Now, composition means to compose a write-up from your side, okay? An essay is a literary form based on the character of a person or a thing. It can be a descriptive narration of an event, preferably a historical event too. You can write essays on the imagery in Shakespeare's works, Spring Season, or on becoming a doctor, and like this. On the other hand, a composition is a literary piece, including an essay. This is the main difference between essay and composition. Let us get to know what are the types of composition. Essay. Practically every essay topic can be approached from multiple perspectives. When writing essays, you choose a topic and take a stance. Your essay will seek to convince readers of the legitimacy of your stance. You should choose something that is important to you. In essay writing, it is easier to write about what you believe in. Write this in the first person, that is I, to second person you. Moving over to personal narrative. Personal narrative is a story about you only. Choose something that make an impression on you, a negative or positive. It might be a vacation, a funny experience, a crisis, a death, a dangerous or frightening situation you encountered, and so on. When writing papers that are personal narratives, write in first person. Moving over to short story, this is a form of prose fiction, a creative, non-poetic kind of composition. Now you need to write this in third person as if you were a narrator, or first person if you speak as your main character. If first person voice is your choice, then your short story will read much like a narrative, but it is not necessarily something that happened to you. You can base it upon something you have experienced, but you tell it as a general story. Your options are limited. You could write about anything that exists in reality, or make up your own world for a short story. Moving over to play, write about what you know. Your play could develop from a personal narrative also, but regardless, include things you have some knowledge that is grounded either in personal experience or research, or both. The play is written in dialogue with the speaker indicated, and stage directions, defining the elements of set, and telling characters how to speak lines or move on stage are written italicized and in parentheses. Next, we are going to go through the translations part or translations questions based on Bengali to English and Hindi to English. First, I am going to discuss about the translations from Bengali to English. If you have Hindi language, you can skip this part and move over to the Hindi translation part. গফুর কহিল, দেরি করিস নে মা, চল, অনেক পথ হাঁটতে হবে। আমি না জল খাইবার ঘটি ও পিতার ভাত খাইবার থালাটি সঙ্গে লইতেছিল। গফুর নিষেধ করিল, ওসব থাক মা, ওতে মহেশের প্রাচিত্তির হবে। Gofur said, "Don't delay, my daughter, let us proceed. We shall have to walk a long distance." Amina was about to take a drinking water pot and her father's rice plate with her. Gofur stopped her and said, "Leave these things here, my daughter. These would be used to expiate the death of Mahesh." অন্ধকার গভীর নিশীথে সে মেয়ের হাত ধরিয়া বাহির হইল। এ গ্রামে আত্মীয় তাহার ছিল না, কাহাকেও বলিবার কিছু নাই। আঙ্গিনা পার হইয়া পথের ধারে সেই বাবলা তলায় আসিয়া সে থমকিয়া দাঁড়াইয়া সহসা হুঁ হুঁ করিয়া কাঁদিয়া উঠিল। নক্ষত্র খচিত কালো আকাশে মুখ তুলিয়া বলিল, আল্লাহ, আমাকে যত খুশি সাজা দিও, কিন্তু মহেশ আমার তেষ্টা নিয়ে মরেছে। তার চরে খাবার এতটুকু জমি কেউ রাখেনি। যে তোমার দেওয়া মাঠের ঘাস, তোমার দেওয়া তেষ্টার জল তাকে খেতে দেয়নি, তার কসুর তুমি যেন কখনো মাপ করো না। Holding the hand of his daughter, he stepped out of his hut in the darkness of midnight. He had no relatives in the village and there was none to be informed. After crossing the courtyard, he abruptly halted under the familiar acacia tree by the side of the road and suddenly burst into tears. There is a mistake here, a typing mistake. It will be there and not 3. Lifting up his face towards the dark, starry sky, he said, "Oh God, punish me as much as you wish, but my Mahesh has died from unquenched thirst. Nobody has left even a small plot of land for him to graze. Please never forgive the crime of him who has deprived Mahesh of eating the grass and drinking the water gifted by you." Let us read another translation so that we can understand it better. স্কুল হইতে ফিরিয়া আসিয়া রাম সর্বাগ্রে তাহার গাছটি দেখিতে গিয়া একেবারে লাফাইয়া উঠিল। বই খাতা ছুঁড়িয়া ফেলিয়া দিয়া চিৎকার করিয়া উঠিল, বৌদি, আমার গাছ! নারায়ণী রান্নাঘর হইতে বাহিরে আসিয়া বলিলেন, বলছি এদিকে আয়। না, যাব না। কই আমার গাছ? এদিকে আয় না বলছি। রাম কাছে আসিতেই তিনি হাত ধরিয়া ঘরে লইয়া গিয়া কোলের উপর বসাইয়া মাথায় হাত বুলাইয়া বলিলেন, মঙ্গলবারে কি অশ্বত্থা গাছ পুঁততে আছে রে? রাম শান্ত হইয়া জিজ্ঞাসা করিল, বেশ, কি হয়? নারায়ণী হাসিয়া বলিলেন, তাহলে বাড়ির বড় বউ মরে যায় যে। রাম এক মুহূর্তে ম্লান হইয়া গিয়া বলিল, যা, মিছে কথা। নারায়ণী হাসি মুখে বলিলেন, না রে, মিছে কথা নয়, পাঁজিতে লেখা আছে। কই পাঁজি দেখি। On returning from school, Rama at first went to inspect his sapling and at once jumped up. He threw away his books and notebooks and shouted, "Sister-in-law, where is my sapling?" Narayani came out of the kitchen and said, "Come to me, I shall tell you." "No, I shall not. Where is my sapling? I am telling you to come to me." As soon as Ram came to her, she grasped his hand, took him inside the house, made him sit on her lap, patted his head and said, "A people's sapling should not be planted on a Tuesday." Ram calmed down and asked, "Why not? What's the harm?" Narayani smiled and said, "Then the senior-most daughter-in-law in the family dies." Instantly Ram became pale and said, "Rubbish, you are telling a lie." Narayani smilingly said, "No, it is not a lie. It is written in the almanac." Let me have a look at the almanac. Now I am going to show you some sample writings which has the translation from Hindi to English. हमारे देश के सामने एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या संकीर्ण धार्मिक और भाषा संबंधी मतभेदों को दूर करने के लिए एक राष्ट्रीय हस्ती के विकास की है। इस कार्य में विश्वविद्यालय निर्णायक भाग ले सकते हैं। One of the most pressing problems facing our country is the development of a national outlook overriding parochial, religious and linguistic consideration. In this task, the universities can and should play a decisive part. Let's check the second sample. शिक्षा में स्वायत्तता का अर्थ यह नहीं है कि विश्वविद्यालय विशिष्ट आवश्यकताओं के प्रति ध्यान ही न दे। वस्तुतः विश्वविद्यालय की स्थापना समाज की कुछ आवश्यकताओं को पूरा करने के लिए हुई है और इन्हें इन आवश्यकताओं को पूरा करने के लिए सजग रहना चाहिए। Let us see the translation now. Autonomy in academic matters does not mean that universities should be oblivious of special need. In fact, universities are set up for the satisfaction of certain felt needs of the society and they have to be fully sensitive and responsive to them. Okay students, so this was all for today's class. We are going to meet again in the next class with more and more examples of WBCS mains English paper, so that you can just get used to how the questions come and how you can answer them.